Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and here's a headline from newsbtc.com. Major XRP price rebound expected as Ripple plans relocation. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a number of opinions from analysts in regards to XRP price, the broader crypto market. And I will tell you right now that it seems pretty clear to me that analysts in general are kind of expecting some explosive moves, potentially sooner than later. We may be talking within the next few weeks or so. And then you've got this though, because look, I'd say it like this. So cryptos, if you zoom in on a chart, it can look like cryptos are moving independently, but there are a lot of other factors out there. The truth of the matter is it's much more complicated than that. And so just like we know, all of us that are not idiot sticks, recognize that XRP, along with every other altcoin on the planet, does follow the price action of Bitcoin. But the story doesn't really end there, because you can see what happened in March when we had that major drawdown thanks to the pandemic, and the stock market was just tanking. Well, crypto followed. And now you need to take into account some other things, though, like what's happening with precious metals, specifically gold. So here's a piece from Bitcoinist.com titled, "Analyst sees gold at $4,000 in 2020. What does it mean for Bitcoin?" Spoiler alert, good things if so. Now, that's $4,000. That's more than twice what it is now. And then you have this piece, though. The dollar is building bullish momentum as Bitcoin's wanes. So there's a lot to consider when thinking, what is the direction that price action might go? And that's why it's so interesting to me when I see people, especially, it happens most frequently when they're new to the XRP community, because they just, to them, I get it. Like coming in, you're like, it should make logical sense, right? Should, doesn't, but it doesn't logically follow anyway. That, in practice at least, that because there's good news around XRP, that magically there's going to be some sort of upward price action. The news doesn't really matter that much. I think if you've spent a little time in the world of crypto, you should have been able to figure that out here. As I record this, XRP is at 25 cents. You got Bitcoin at $10,891. And the market cap for the asset class, $340 billion, with Bitcoin dominance at 59.26%. So it has picked up a little bit over the last few days, unfortunately. I like to see altcoins outpace Bitcoin, but I think we'll see a little bit of that before the year's out. That's just a for fun guess. Because to be clear, I want to be super duper clear. I don't have a financial background. I am not offering financial advice at all. So definitely do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just sharing my everyday Joe Schmo opinion just because I think it's fun talking about this stuff and making YouTube videos. That's it, though. There's a tweet from Credible Crypto, who has quite a following, frankly. This guy's got 68,700 followers all up on the Twitters here. And he simply wrote, "Give up, bears." He's got a typo there. He wrote B-Roz, but he means bears, obviously. "Give up, bears. This is not where you want to make your stand. Go home. Live to fight another day. Bitcoin." And you see, here's the chart that he's citing right here. And he's not the only one expressing that particular mindset, which is important to us as XRP holders because, again, undeniably, XRP does follow the price action of Bitcoin. So if we want to know what's happening with XRP price, you better be aware of what's happening with Bitcoin price. Here's a tweet from Josh Rager, who also has a massive following all up on the Twitters with 88,600 followers. And he wrote, "Bitcoin. We're weeks away from a monthly close, so a lot can happen between now and then. But I believe this hold of the monthly at $10,760 in hindsight will be such an obvious sign in the future." And so you can see, obviously, here's a chart he had associated with that tweet, looking to the upside, ultimately. And he thinks it's going to be abundantly clear in hindsight, which, of course, and ultimately would be good for XRP, even if it lags behind the price action of Bitcoin, as is typically the case. Never forget, I'm never going to forget, certainly, that XRP went from 20-something cents to almost $4 in a matter of weeks. But prior to that, it was trading sideways for about half a year as Bitcoin was going through its most impressive parabolic price action in its history. And then XRP was just trading sideways, which, by the way, I still think is going to happen. I'm just waiting. Next time Bitcoin goes parabolic and crushes its previous all-time high, which I suspect will happen at some point, I assume that XRP is going to be lagging behind, and I expect that there's going to be a bunch of people in the community just kind of bitching about XRP price. It's not going anywhere, and I fully anticipate that many will abandon their XRP positions to go chase something else that's moving up. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, that's going to be a bunch of that. And then eventually XRP is going to take off and they're going to miss out. That's what I suspect. That's why, like I always say, I'm just going to outpatient everyone else pretty much. That's basically my plan. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, all right. Got a little touch of the COVID. No, I'm just kidding. We're good. So here's this piece titled "Major XRP Price Rebound Expected as Ripple Plans Relocation." And I made a whole video about this yesterday, so I'm just going to touch on it since it's in this article here. But Ripple has been threatening to relocate outside of the United States due to, let's just say, a lack of regulatory clarity. And that could end up being a good thing for XRP. And so that's why I'm a little conflicted as a United States citizen. I would love the innovators to stay here, but if it's going to help the price action of XRP because adoption can occur at a faster pace, selfishly, I'm like, yeah, do that one. That's fine. Plus, if the regulators are shooting themselves in the foot, that's not my damn fault, you know? I'm just saying. But in terms of price action, here's the note, XRP outlook. Well, the first reaction to the news that the potential relocation was positive. The fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap rose 0.0032 cents, or about 1.35% to 24.9 cents on Wednesday. However, it failed to turn the upside into a full-fledged bullish move, correcting lower to 24.6 cents as of Thursday, which is today, as I'm recording this here. And it'll be interesting to see where we go, because out of all the analysts that I've been following, pretty much everybody still says the macro trend, bullish macro trend for XRP and crypto in general, it's like it's all still in place, even if we see a drawdown. And there are some analysts that are saying, hey, there could be a double bottom for this chart. We could see the prices back to around 22.5 cents, somewhere around there. And we actually did get pretty close. So when they're talking about it getting back down there again, I'm like, is that called a triple bottom? Like, what are we going for that again now? So the Vince Prince, which is fun because it rhymes, that's a name, an independent market analyst, stated in a note that he expects XRP to log a major rebound in the coming sessions. The point of bounce back, he added, could be around 23.3 cents to 23.5 cents, which again, we already hit that like a second time within the last, I would have to go look at the chart. It's been 4, 5, 6, 7 days, whatever the hell it's been, it happened. So we're going back there again maybe, but that's what that individual analyst thinks. Now, the analysis came as part of a partial inverse head and shoulder pattern. The 23.3 to 23.5 cents region served as the bottom of the right shoulder. So if sustained, it prompted the XRP price to rebound towards the neckline, which sits at 26.04 cents. And the highest that I think XRP got up within recent days, I believe, was like 25.9 cents, so right around that mark. But Mr. Vince also anticipated a breakout move to the upside, adding, quote, "It will be interesting to see XRP USD further development in the structure and in comparison to the rest of the market. This is a structure that has good potential." And so, to be clear, as far as the macro trend that's in place regardless, pretty much every analyst that I follow, and I follow tons of them, they all seem to share that sentiment. And so, and I'll give them a pass. Like if the stock market starts tanking again unexpectedly, this or that, and it drags trip down, okay, whatever. I will not be giving the technical analysts a hard time if something like that happens. But outside of that, again, they're all anticipating that it's like explosive move, right? Next. Now there's this piece titled "Analyst Sees Gold at $4,000 in 2020. What does it mean for Bitcoin?" Which would be fascinating. So consider gold as I record this. I actually Googled it before recording the video. The price of gold as I record this, in terms of United States dollars, it's $1,908. Now, the all-time high price for gold, it's like $2,061, and it hit that fairly recently. $2,061 is the first time that it ever broke $2,000. And that's amazing. Now, actually, I should mention this too, though. If you adjust for inflation, technically the price of gold was higher around, I think, 1980. It was like 2,100 and something like that. But nonetheless, we've never seen anything near $4,000. This is pretty much the most expensive gold has ever been relative to the United States dollar. And so to see something like this, which would probably be good for Bitcoin as well, it's just fascinating. You're talking about gold going to $4,000 freaking dollars before the calendar year's out. You got less than one full quarter to make that happen. But it's interesting. It goes as follows. An optimistic forecast for gold is making Bitcoin equally bullish thanks to its erratically positive correlation with the crypto. Frank Holmes, CEO of U.S. Global Investors, told Kitco News that the gold market is forming a bottom. Simultaneously, the analyst maintained his upside target for the precious metal at $4,000 in 2020, despite the fears of uncertainty around November's U.S. election and the second pandemic stimulus package. And so here's a quote. "The bottom that you're seeing in gold is like a perfect Miami Beach bottom," Mr. Holmes said. "Gold will go up and it will go down. The DNA of volatility you can measure over 20 trading days, 60 trading days, 12 months. It was up when we talked about time for a correction at the beginning of August, 3 standard deviations over 20 trading days. It's now down 1 standard deviation." So that would really be something. I can only imagine what that would do for Bitcoin. Because consider this. At the bottom, I think, is where they were talking about what it might do for Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, and they wrote here it would be maybe a breakout for Bitcoin above 12,500. And I'm sitting there thinking, that'd be it? It's like if money's flowing into gold like that, given especially if there's any credence to the theory of the crypto asset class as a hedge against inflation, tumultuous times, whatever, what have you, we're only going to see an increase up to a little break above $12,500 for Bitcoin. So look, I don't know that I'm sold on this concept of gold breaking that before the year's out. I'm not saying it won't, but man, if it does, I don't know. My gut's telling me, and again, it's not financial advice, but I'd be surprised if Bitcoin didn't do something a little bit more grand than that. And then, while this is all happening, you've got this piece now. The dollar is building bullish momentum as Bitcoin's wanes. Bitcoin price just pumped following news that Square made a massive purchase in Bitcoin, which I'll be talking about in a separate video, by the way. There's lots to cover on that. But the dollar regaining momentum as the top cryptocurrencies wanes could soon suggest a pullback and a better buying opportunity for the major payments corporation. Here's what inversely correlated technicals are saying about the two vehemently opposed currencies. And then there's a little subheading, why the dollar's rebound threatens Bitcoin's bull run beginnings. And that's why I was saying, man, there's a lot of moving parts to all of this when you're trying to figure out the direction of all this, which is, the reason, like a huge reason at least, that I'm here for the long haul, because there's so many moving parts. There's so many people that try and time all this crap, and then they FOMO in, they panic sell, and people that do that, in my experience, don't end up doing that well. So I'm just going to follow it because it's interesting, but it's not going to affect my buying and selling. I'm just saying it. But Bitcoin is supposedly breaking out of a bear market. It has retested and confirmed the former downtrend triangle resistance as support, and is holding strong above $10,000 and now $10,500 despite a string of bad news. After almost 2 weeks of nonstop negative news breaking and being unable to push prices lower, one ray of positive just sent prices soaring higher. But it may be short-lived according to what the DXY Dollar Currency Index says about the greenback regaining some strength. The dollar's sudden strength comes as investors begin cashing out ahead of the high-risk election and pandemic-related uncertainty, and it could put a damper on the early bull run beginnings Bitcoin has been exhibiting. The DXY is a basket of top world forex currencies weighted against the dollar and shows the overall health of the global reserve currency. After a sharp peak on Black Thursday, the one asset that benefited the most that day, the dollar went into a steep downtrend. So at the bottom of a falling wedge depicted in a red dashed line, a complex inverse head and shoulders reversal pattern has turned things around. It is common for such reversal patterns to pull back to the neckline to retest resistance as support, keeping trading interesting, quote, interesting, according to pattern authority Thomas Bulkowski. So, there's that going on with the dollar, potentially crazy things happening with gold, and then even outside of that, just looking at the technical analysis in terms of just Bitcoin charts, that's bullish in and of itself, according to multiple analysts. So, how is this all going to meld together? I don't know. Sit tight. It's going to be interesting, though, but there's going to be some fireworks at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this month or next month or before the year's out, but my gosh, it seems pretty clear that the consensus among analysts is that this is really, and I keep saying this, and I haven't seen this like this over the last 3 years. I really haven't, other than outliers saying, hey, we're the bottom's in and we're about to see the moon, next parabolic cycle for crypto. In this case, I've never seen so many analysts just seem to agree that's the case. And there we go. Take that for what it's worth. But I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.